And that's when his 11-year-old daughter, she just starts to change. She starts talking about feeling this crushing weight on her body all the time. She hears whispers at night. She'd just stare at a blank wall for hours. And then it got worse. She started hurting herself, hitting her head over and over again on the kitchen doorstep.
And then, Goggins sees it. Something that freezes the blood in his veins. A mark, a wound, starts to appear on his daughter's chest. It was in the exact same place, and it looked identical to the one he saw on his dead wife. He knew right then. This wasn't an illness. This was a message.
Okay, so at this point, Goggin is out of options. He grabs his daughter and runs to the priest. But the villagers start to gather around, sensing something is deeply wrong, their whispers turning into demands for the truth. The walls are closing in, and this family's secrets are about to explode.
But right before the priest can even start the exorcism, something totally unexpected happens. The younger, just a little girl, speaks up. Torn between being terrified of her father and knowing this horrible secret, she reveals a truth that just shatters everything.
And what this little girl says, it just paints this horrifying new picture of her own father. He wasn't a grieving husband. He was a man consumed by greed for land and resentment. He hated that he had daughters. He desperately wanted a son. And that desire had festered into a murderous rage.
So, the priest starts his rites, and suddenly, a voice comes out of the possessed girl. But it's not her voice. It's the voice of Madhu, her murdered mother, speaking from the other side. And she confirms the horrible truth. Goggins' rage over finding out she was pregnant with another girl is what drove him to murder.
And with this chilling, terrifying clarity, Madhu's spirit tells everyone exactly what happened that day. There was a confrontation on the path to the temple. Gagan's own mother tried to defend Madhu, and he pushed his own mother off the cliff to her death. And when Madhu threatened to expose him, he silenced her forever with a knife and threw her body over the edge too.
So just imagine that, a confession from beyond the grave, coming from the mouth of a little girl. The village just erupted. Total shock, total fury. The truth was finally out, and there was absolutely nowhere for Gagan to hide.
Gagan, totally exposed, he just makes a run for it. But in this crazy twist of fate, he ends up running right back to the scene of his crime. And in a moment of what you can only call poetic justice, he slips on that same muddy path and falls at the exact spot where he had killed his wife and his mother. The villagers saw it happen and they grabbed him.
So Gagan finally faces justice for what he did. His daughters were taken in by their uncle, Sushil, and were finally in a safe and loving home. And the older daughter, the one he was possessed, she made a full recovery. With the truth revealed, the Masan, its mission of vengeance now